Good morning, everyone. I'm here today, your instructor. Again, this is Elaine, and I would like to welcome you to our English Maritime course. So this will be the continuation of our discussion last time. So it's about the strategies for decoding. So before we start, decoding is the technical language that involves the understanding and its three primary components. So we have here what we call the jargon, um, the symbols, and the abbreviations. So first, what is um the jargons? So the jargons is this is to define the field. So apology again. So how do we starting or strategies? How do we do this decoding? So this is to define the field. So we usually identify the technical domain, the language it belongs to, as terms that can differ significantly between the fields. So another one is you use the professional glossaries. So this one, it refers to the official glossaries or dictionaries within the specific industry to find this definition. So next one is we should look for the context. So we need to examine the surroundings text or situation for hints about the meaning of the unfamiliar terms or the symbols. And then the second one is you need to utilize the explanatory tools. So meaning, we have to use some websites and applications sometimes just to provide the tooltips or built-in explanation for technical jargons. And lastly is to consult the multiple sources. So cross-reference definition from different reputable resources to ensure the accuracy, as some abbreviation may have a multiple meaning. So, okay. So, next is we're going to discuss about some visual literacy. So, this is still part of the advanced reading skills in the maritime industry. So, visual literacy. So, in maritime field, it involves some interpreting the technical diagrams, charts, and schematics of the ship's systems, equipment, and navigation. So, this one, it requires the understanding conventionally symbols and conventions and the spatial representations of the component and their relationships. So we need to um, understand that mastering the skills, it allows for confident maintenance, troubleshooting, and operation of the vessel to ensure the safety and performance by enabling the accurate understanding of the complex system like the electrical circuits or the mechanical components. So we have here some types of the maritime visual information. So first is what we call the diagram. So these are the schematic pictures of events, phenomena, or system that often using a conventional symbols and label to show the element and their relationship. So I have here first what we call the schematic diagram. So this one, it visualizes how the complex system, so like the electrical circuit or machinery, work, showing the connection between the components. So here is the example of the diagram. So these schematic diagrams are just simplified two-dimensional visual representation of a system that used to standardize the graphic symbol to show the connectivity and functionality between its component rather than their physical layout. So they are omit in the relevant or irrelevant details just to clarify the essential information and relationships making them invaluable tools to understanding how the system works. So here is the key characteristic of the schematic diagram. So first is the what we call the abstract symbol. So the abstract symbol, this is the schematic diagram, replaced realistic pictures with these standardized symbols that represent specific components. Another one is the focus on the connectivity. So they should focus on they uses a line to show how these components are connected. So illustrating the logical and functional flow of the system. Another one is the simplified representation. So the schematic omit and unnecessary details that may exaggerate certain elements to enhance the understanding of the core concept and relationship with the system or within the system. And another is the functional organization. So the components are arranged based on their functional role. So it should be rather than their physical locations. So they using this to making it easier to grasp the overall operations of the system. So here we will see what is the purpose and the uses. So of course, for the troubleshooting, schematic act as a map for tracing connections and identifying faults in electrical circuits or system. So another consideration is the design. So they are very crucial for designers to communicate their intentions and how components should be arranged and connected in a system. And of course, understanding the operations. So the schematics provide a clear, logical view of the system circuitry and its mode of operations. It also in the terms of interdisciplinary applications. So while the common in electronics, the concept of using the schematic diagram is to represent the abstract process and relationships applies to other fields like the meteorologically or biology as well. So here, what is the difference between the schematic and the wiring diagram? So it is important to distinguish the schematics from the wiring diagrams. So because the schematic diagram, this one, it shows the functional connectivity and the logical relationships between the components, and I'm using the symbols. While the wiring diagram, this is to show the physical layout and actual wire connections between components. So, including their relative positions and how they are wired in the real world. So, another types of under the diagram is what we call the parts diagram. So the parts diagram, this one, it illustrates the individual components of a system, such as a marine transmission, detailing their arrangement and interconnections. So this one, so as our example here, it showing the or labeling the parts of this the engine. So where can we find the parts of the um so here, we can also use this parts diagram in the automotive and mechanical. So in automotive parts diagrams, such as those for an engine or exhaust system, it helps the mechanics or the car owners identify the specific components for service and replacement. In the engine, so in the engine, it shows how the components like pistons, the valves, and the crankshafts work together in the combustion process. It also used in the cooling system, display the layout of the radiator, the hoses, and the water pumps that regulates the engine's temperature. Another one is the assembly diagram. So this time, it shows how to assemble the complex equipment ranging from future furniture to factory machinery. another one is in the electronics. So diagrams are essential for designing and building and troubleshooting some electronic devices. It also applies in the circuit diagram. So this one, it provides a graphical representation of an electrical circuit showing how the components like resistors and capacitors are connected. We also have some block diagram. So this one, it represents a system of blocks with the connecting lines showing the relationship between them. We also have some wiring diagram. So this one, it shows the physical layout of the components and cables commonly used for the installations. So here, what parts of the diagram are used for? So we have here identifying the parts. So visual diagrams, it helps users to locate and identify the connect parts by number and name. Another one is understanding assemblies. So, the word exploded. So, exploded diagram separate the components to show how they fit together. So, it shows how they fit together, which is useful for understanding the product's structure. Another one is repair and maintenance. So they serve as a guide for assembling, disassembling, and servicing equipment and products. Another one is ordering the parts. So by providing the parts number, diagram streamline the orders or the ordering process for the replacement parts. So where are we going to find or where to find the parts diagram? So you will have to see the manufacturer websites. So the official website of the product, manufacturer is the best place to find the parts diagram and the parts catalog. Another one is the official parts catalogs. So this time, manufacturers have dedicated websites or sections for parts catalog. So they are often searchable by the product type, model number, and the serial number. Specialized retailers. So some online retailers and repair sites, they provide some parts diagram. So this one is for various brands and equipment. Interactive diagram platform. So meaning some services like the Parts Tech, they offer some interactive diagrams for the auto parts. So allowing the users to click on the parts to find information and initiate searches across supplies. So you can find those parts on this given websites. So here's the other types of the marine visual information. So we have here the charts that represents the qualitative information by specifying the relationship between the different entities and using the words or phrases. So we have here another one is what we call the schematic, which is the general term for diagrams that visually summarize the processes, requirements, in so again, if you are finding or looking for a specific parts of the diagram, these methods can help you find it. So we have here the manufacturer, the online retailers, and the technical manuals. So you all you have to do is the search for the manufacturer's website for the parts or supports that use your product model's number. Another one in the online parts retailers. So we have so many websites. So maintain the extensive searchable database for parts diagram for various products. So it depends on the product are you looking for. So we also have the technical manuals. So search for the technicals or the repair manuals for the specific product. So this one which will often include the diagrams and the detailed assembly instructions. So I have here some key aspects of visual literacy in maritime. So first is understanding the symbols and conventions. So you need to be familiarize yourself with the standard technical symbols, codes, and conventions used in the specific diagram or schematic. Another one is interpreting the spatial relationships. So you need to recognize how two-dimensional space is used to convey meaning, understanding how the symbols are arranged to show how components are connected. Another one is the identifying components. So learn to identify the individual parts of a system and their functions such as the gearbox, clutch assembly, and shafts in a marine transmission. Another one is the identifying the components. So learn to identify the individual parts of a system and their functions, such as the clutch and again assemble and shafts in the marine transmission. Tracing the system flow. So meaning you need to follow the path of the current electrical schematic or the flow of power and fluids in the mechanical diagram to understand the overall system operations. Using the legends and notes. So this one, it refers to the accompanying the legend. Notes and the labels that explain the function of the parts or the meaning of symbols within the diagram. So why the visual literacy matters? So first is the maintenance and troubleshooting. So the diagram and the schematics are crucial for diagnosing the problems, locating the faulty parts, and for performing the necessary repairs on the shipboard machinery. Another one is the safety. So correctly interpreting the visual information is very essential for ensuring all connections adhere to manufacturer standards. So thereby preventing the system failures and accidents. We also have some operations. So a solid understanding of the visuals helps the operators effectively manage the vessel systems, leading to better performance and efficiency in the water. So here are the three main reasons why the visual literacy matters. So again, we have the maintenance and troubleshooting, the safety, and the operations. So next is about the stakes or why reading is a safety critical skills in maritime. So we all know that reading is the safety critical skills in the maritime industry because it enables the seafarers to comprehend the complex technical documentation, nautical charts, manuals, and the international regulations, which is very important or essential for accurate navigations, efficient route planning, effective decision making during the emergencies, and preventing accidents. So, mastery of the maritime specific vocabulary and grammar is very important for understanding this critical text. This is to ensuring that the safety and the efficiency operations of the vessel. So I have here some key reasons for reading is very critical for the maritime safety. So first is the navigation and chart interpretation. So seafarers must be able to read and interpret the nautical charts and electronic charts display and information system or what we call the ECDIS to understand the depth contours, recognize hazards, and identify the navigation's aid. So, this will allowing for the safe passage and the route planning. Another one is the regulatory compliance. So, the maritime industry is governed by a complex web and international regulations. So, reading and understanding these documents are fundamental to ensuring the compliance and preventing the violations that could lead to accident or operational issues. Another one is the technical manuals and documentations. So ships are equipped with intricate machinery and systems. So reading the instructions manuals, logbooks, and other technical documents is very vital for proper operations, maintenance, troubleshooting, which contributes to the overall vessel safety. Another one is the emergency responses. In emergency scenarios, seafarers must quickly read and understand the procedures to respond effectively to the situations like collisions or fires. So, accurate reading ensures that the emergency protocols are followed correctly, minimizing the potential inquiries and damage. Another one is the communication and information exchange. So, maritime communication. This includes the maritime English. So, this relies heavily on the clear and accurate reading of the message and reports. So this is vital for the maintaining a shared understanding of the situations, typically in multinational crews and between ships and shore-based operations. Another reason is the critical thinking and decision making. So reading the fosters critical thinking and analytic skills. So by processing the information from various contexts and charts, seafarers can make informed decisions, which is very important or crucial for navigating unpredictable conditions at the sea and ensuring the safety of the crew and the vessels. Specialized vocabulary. So the maritime sector has its own specialized technical and core vocabulary. So by mastering the vocabulary is crucial for achieving the high level of the reading comprehension needed to correctly interpret the documents and instructions. So which is directly impacts the safety. So another one here is the human factor. So the leading cause of the maritime incident is human error. So often stemming from the misreading or misunderstanding the instruction. Next is the compliance and the regulations. So, adherence to the international and national maritime regulations. Incorrect interpretation can lead to a serious legal and financial penalties. We also have here some operational efficiency. So, efficiently reading the manuals saves time during the maintenance, troubleshooting, and the daily operations. Regarding the emergency preparedness, so in an emergency, fast and accurate comprehension of the safety procedure is also vital for the survival. We also have here some common maritime documents. So, common maritime documents, this includes the cargo related such as the bill of landing, packing list, financial documents like the commercial invoice and letter of credit, and the regulatory documents like the certificate of origins. So, other vital documents can include some various licenses, permits, and crew-related certification that ensures that the vessel's safety. So, I have here for the cargo. So, these documents identify and describe the goods and being shipped. So, as I said earlier, bill of landing or the BL. This is the receipt for the cargo, contract of carriage between the shippers and the carrier, and a document of title to the goods. Another one is the commercial invoice. So the document used for custom clearance detailing the transaction between the buyer and sellers, including the goods quantity, value, and terms of sales. Another one I have here is the packing list. So these are the list of items in the shipment, including the quantity and the other details. Another one is the certificate of origin. So meaning confirms this is the documents that confirms the country where the goods were manufactured. This is often requires for the custom clearance. So next are the documents for the ship and crew. So this ensured that the vessel and its crew meet the international standards and regulations. So I have here the certificate of competency. So in maritime certificate issued by the competent authorities, confirming a seafarer's qualification and knowledge to perform a specific duties safely. Next is the SOLA certificates. So these certificates, this is related to the international conventions for the safety of life at sea, or what we call the SOLAS, to ensuring the ship meets the safety requirements for the constructions, equipments, and radio. We also have here some MARPOL. So the MARPOL is the documents that confirming the compliance with the International Convention for the prevention of pollution from ship, such as the International Oil Pollution Prevention Certificate. And the other documents they needed is the Certificate of Registry. This is only to confirm that the ship's nationality. And here is the other list or other important documents. So this can include some financial and the regulatory documents. First is the insurance certificate. So this is just the proof of insurance coverage for the shipment, often including the marine and cargo insurance. Next is the letter of credit. This is the documents from the bank guaranteeing the payment to the seller that often used in the international trade. Next is the custom declarations. So this one is the formal declarations of goods for import or export represented to customs authorities. And of course, we also have some import and export licenses. So this is the permit that required by some countries to control some movements and specific goods across the borders. I have here also some other common maritime documents. So we have here the technical manuals. So this is the machinery operations and maintenance and repair guides. We also have safety management system for the SMS manuals. This is the outline the company safety policies and procedures. Another one is the safety data sheets, so or DSDS. So these are the information on hazardous materials. We also have the SOPs or the standard operating procedures. So these are the step-by-step guides for the routine task. Another one is the watchkeeping and bridge procedures. So here you can see the rules and guidelines for navigations and bridge operations. We also have some emergency response plans. So these are the detailed plans for fire, flooding, and other emergencies. And lastly, we have the ship certificates and logbooks. So these are just the legal and operational documents. So for today, we discussed the continuations about the decoding, technical languages, visual literacy, so and the reasons why the reading is very important and some other maritime documents. So again, this is your instructor Elaine. So I would like to thank you all for listening for today's discussion.